Imagine walking into a luxury beauty store in the early 1900s. Crystal bottles line the shelves. Elegant women in silk gloves crowd around a glowing display. Advertisements promise eternal youth, flawless skin, and a radiant beauty unlike anything the world has ever seen. But there was one terrifying detail hidden behind the marketing. The products were radioactive. Not metaphorically, not exaggeration, literally radioactive, and millions of people had no idea. Back then, radiation wasn't feared the way it is today. In fact, it was considered magical. After scientists discovered radium in the late 1800s, the world became obsessed. Newspapers called it a miracle element. Doctors experimented with it. Companies rushed to put it into almost everything imaginable: toothpaste, chocolate, water, medicine, even makeup and skincare. People believed radiation gave energy to the body. They thought it could heal illness, reverse aging, and create glowing skin. The word scientific instantly made products sound luxurious and trustworthy, and beauty companies saw an opportunity. Soon, expensive creams, powders, soaps, and face masks containing radium were being sold to wealthy women across Europe and America. Some brands proudly advertised that their products literally glowed in the dark. Women rubbed radioactive cream onto their faces before bed, believing it would tighten skin and erase wrinkles. Instead, it was silently destroying them from the inside. The early 1900s were the perfect environment for dangerous beauty trends to explode. Modern science was advancing rapidly. Electricity had transformed cities. Cars were replacing horses. Airplanes were entering the skies. Every year seemed to introduce another unbelievable invention. People started trusting science almost blindly. If a product sounded scientific, it had to be safe, right? Beauty companies leaned into this hard. Advertisements featured women in white laboratory-style settings. Fancy diagrams appeared in magazines. Words like atomic, energy, and radium-powered became marketing gold. One famous French beauty line claimed their radioactive skincare could stimulate cells, brighten the complexion, and restore youthful vitality. Customers loved it. The creams were expensive, exclusive, and modern. Using them made people feel sophisticated, like they were participating in the future itself. And honestly, some users thought the products worked. That's because radiation can temporarily irritate the skin, causing redness and tightening that looked like a healthy glow at first. But underneath that surface effect, cells were being damaged. The real consequences took time to appear, and by the time they did, it was already too late for many people. At first, nobody connected the illnesses to beauty products. Women began reporting strange symptoms: persistent fatigue, tooth pain, skin damage that wouldn't heal, hair falling out, weak bones, mysterious infections. Doctors were confused. How could luxury skincare possibly be causing this? But radiation exposure doesn't always kill instantly. Sometimes it slowly destroys the body over years. Radium is especially terrifying because the body can mistake it for calcium. Once absorbed, it can settle into bones and continue releasing radiation from inside a person's body. Imagine that. People thought they were applying beauty to their skin, while actually poisoning themselves. Some victims developed horrifying facial injuries. Jawbones weakened, teeth loosened and fell out, skin deteriorated. In extreme cases, bone tissue literally began dying. And yet many companies refused to admit their products were dangerous. Why? Because the radium craze was making enormous amounts of money. Even as evidence started growing, businesses continued selling radioactive beauty products. Advertisements became even more aggressive. They promised healthy radiance, scientific rejuvenation, a youthful glow powered by modern discovery. People trusted the branding because radiation still sounded exciting, futuristic, and elite. Remember, this was before strict consumer safety laws existed. Companies could make outrageous claims with almost no oversight, and consumers had no easy way to verify anything. If a beautiful advertisement appeared in a respected magazine, most people believed it. That's what makes this story feel disturbingly modern. Today, beauty marketing still uses scientific language constantly. Buzzwords flood social media every day: detoxifying, clean beauty, chemical-free, anti-aging technology, cellular renewal. Sometimes the science is real, sometimes it's exaggerated, and sometimes consumers don't fully understand what they're buying at all. The Radium beauty era became one of history's biggest warnings about blind trust in marketing. Because once fear and hype disappear, people will put almost anything on their skin. Eventually, the damage became impossible to ignore. Scientists and investigators began linking radiation exposure to severe illness. Public opinion slowly shifted from fascination to fear. The same element, once advertised as glamorous, suddenly became terrifying. Lawsuits followed. Public scandals exploded. Consumers realized they had been lied to for years. Many radioactive beauty products disappeared from shelves almost overnight. But the damage had already been done. Some victims spent the rest of their lives suffering from chronic health problems caused by products they once believed were helping them. And the craziest part? Many of these women weren't reckless. They were simply trusting experts, advertisements, and luxury brands, exactly like consumers still do today. This story isn't really just about radium. It's about how easily people can be convinced when fear, beauty, and science collide. Every generation believes it's smarter than the last, but history shows the same cycle repeating again and again. A new trend appears. Influencers and companies promote it. Consumers rush to try it, and only years later do people discover the hidden consequences.